All right.
Are we live?
We should be live. We should be
What's up, Curse World Heads?
live. So we gotta this. You heard some chit chat. You heard a little bit of chitter chatter, a little banter, a little playful banter back and forth here before we started. But we do still need your help. So got a few people watching. Whoever is watching, whoever's our ride or dies, Mr. Well Emmanuel and Mr. Axeman and whoever else. Keep that chat lighting up. If you can hear us, we need to know if the audio is good for both of us. Justin, go ahead and give us some talking.
Can I do my intro? What's up, Curse World Heads? How's that, fellas?
Let's see here. Let's see how it goes. We're doing things the old-fashioned way and listening to it real time because we can't figure it all out. And Mr. Axeman, whoever else. Justin, you want to intro? You want to intro a little bit harder?
What's up, Curse World Heads? This is our first ever official live stream. You know what that means? I'm wearing the black shirt. It's buttoned down a little bit farther than I'm usually
It was good for both of us. Justin, go
Going
ahead
all
and give
out.
us some
It's
talking.
Juneteenth. You know what that means? We're celebrating our Curse World Heads, remembering everything that they've done for us, remembering the price of our freedom, the work. We have a special guest this evening. He goes by many names, but he needs no introduction. But we will give him one when that comes, right?
We got a little message here that Justin is extra quiet, so keep talking for us here.
Mamma mia.
Should be better now.
Dial that up? Did you just dial it up
Yeah, just dialed you up, so you should be good.
on the ob?
We'll test it out real quick.
We'll just test it. Colin uses a program. It's very exclusive. It's called OBS, and I don't know why it's called that. If it's Scandinavian
we got a little
or
message here that Justin is.
how's that sound?
Keep talking for us here.
Better.
All right, I think it's working out for us. Great. Great. All right, so now that we got that over with, what are we going to be talking about tonight, Juss?
Well, I don't want to spoil anything, but I have to let you know and the viewers, the faithful viewers, know that I'm entering my classic era, which means I'm going to be dressing like a 1980s cringe Satanist.
Whoa.
All black. I'm going to try to make the beard a little bit pointier. I'm always going to be doing... I might do that thing that I forget what his name is, but where he had his eyebrows curled up.
Yeah, what do
You know
you
what I'm talking
think? What do you think about beards that instead of go into like a point here, they come off in 2 points, like all of the ancient, like all of the saints? Whenever you get to a certain monk status, I feel like their beards just grow out like that. Is it because they have butt chins? Could be,
I don't
maybe.
know. Okay.
Haven't really thought about it too much.
No, it's kind of blindsiding me, making me...
Well, just think about it. Imagine it. Close your eyes and think about it.
Okay, can you do like a little participatory, like a guided
Yeah.
something to help me think about it?
All right, close
Okay,
your eyes,
just-
everybody.
Wait, hold on. Can I just take a deep breath? Okay, I'm ready.
Everybody who's watching, just close your eyes and imagine you're out in a field. You're laying down in the grass. The sun's shining, the birds, they're chirping.
It's warm.
And you sit up from the grass and you yawn.
I love how it turned into ASMR.
And you look around. And what do you see? You see an old man sitting under a tree.
Papa?
No. It's me, Saint Herodias.
I don't know who was that, but I'm scared.
And his beard is long. His eyelashes are longer. His hood is over his head. And he can't see. His hood is pulled down over his eyes. He's humming. And he's got a pipe in his mouth.
Wait, can we pause this?
Yeah.
I do want to continue this, but first I have to say, can I do one real quick?
Yeah, sure, I guess. Go for it.
We'll finish yours. I promise we'll come back to it. I need to do this. because it's important.
All right, interrupt my participatory story
Go with the flow, man.
while I'm
Go
in
with
my
the flow.
oratory glorious like a horror story.
All right. Okay, guys, on the live stream tonight, all eyes closed, no one looking around. If Gross World Problems has made an impact on you and you want to become one of our special boys, just slip that hand up. No one looking around. Just put that hand up. I see that hand. You in the back, I see that. Okay, Colin, not Colin. You, young man, I see that hand. All right, guys. All right, that's all I wanted to say.
Yeah, that's really good. And you should have pulled that out later. You should pull that out again. Write that down. Write that down. You should pull that out again.
I'll pull it out like 6 times.
So our special princes listening to us tonight. We got a very special guest, frequent commenter, frequent flyer, I'd say, MrWesford. Gonna have a nice conversation. Gonna pretty much circle the globe with this thing. I don't know. We've got a few topics that we're gonna bring up, and we're really gonna just get into it once he hops on. And otherwise, I mean, things are rolling. You may have noticed we didn't upload this week on the typical Tuesday in the typical Tuesday fashion. It hasn't ever been super consistent, but we've been aiming arbitrarily for Tuesdays. Things are just running a little bit behind. People get busy,
Hey, man.
Life gets in the way.
We got a banger in the on deck. Don't undersell it. We've got one that's just sizzling hot. We just got to leave it in the pan for another minute.
Yeah. Yeah, it just needs to sizzle a little bit more. We're searing it. It's getting reverse seared and then broiled after that. And then we're going to baste it a little bit more. You pull get the flavors, go to Flavor Town. How many booms does that get from you on the boom meter?
What, for the folks at home?
Yeah. Does this next episode that we're working on, how many booms?
Ooh, you mean like
boom
from that tastes all the food in different places?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. He's always like, boom goes the dynamite. That's really good boom boom shrimp.
No, have you seen the TikTok phenomenon of these people? It's like a family. They're all like the most typical American, like big, gigantic shopping cart full of like mounding high full of things at Costco. And coming home like a big dad and a big kid and another big kid, and they do like TikTok content, I guess YouTube content as well, and they're always doing like little reviews, but not quite reviews. Like they'll just pick up like a big family pack of like chips or something and taste test them in front of the camera, and they'll go, "This gets 3 booms from me, boom, boom, boom," right? And that's their content, but they're like.
Yeah,
they're making money. They're making lots of money from that. But they've been so hot right now. If you haven't noticed, it's been all over my timeline.
Yeah, they're funny, or you say they're cringe?
No, they're definitely cringe, but it's a really good like case study. It's like a good one to look at to just kind of see, put your finger on the pulse of like normcore humanity.
Yeah. What about parody songs? Like you take a really popular song from the 1980s or perhaps the 1990s, but you change the words to encourage people to get their booster. That'd be good. Like what would be a good song for that? What song?
They're saying bring your mic closer to your face or get a little bit louder if you can, even if you have to hold it there. Yeah.
I'll do it. I'll get up in here, sing this one.
Yeah, that'll be perfect.
We're up all night to get boosted. We're up all night to get boosted. We're up all night to get boosted. We're up all night to get boosted.
Yeah.
We're up all night to get boosted.
I think I know where this is going.
Yeah.
I think I know where this is going. What's the next verse?
We're up all night to get vaccinated. We're up all night to get...
One thing we wanted to say before we move any further is it is the most based and red pill thing that you can do is getting vaxxed.
Yeah, obviously.
So,
all jokes aside.
Do you want to tell that story?
No, all jokes aside, I'm saying we're like, yeah. You're really going to let your own family and other people's families be in danger? You're really going to risk what? So you can go to the store? we're in the middle of a worldwide, global scale pandemic, and you're gonna. I need to go get my Big Mac. I need to go to the DVD store. Okay, grow up.
Yeah. Well,
You know,
while we're
all
on the
in it
topic,
together. You're not the only one.
while we're on the topic, and while we're waiting for our special handsome prince to join us, I do have a question, and this is serious. What core memory do you have from the years 2021 or 2020 to 2022 that got your nutsack boiling the most? Like, what was the most infurious thing that happened to you personally? What was the thing that like made you want to do the like splatter your brains against the wall type stuff?
Okay, I was in Berkeley Springs, West Virginia at a coffee shop. It was called Fairfax Coffee. Fairfax Coffee in Berkeley Springs, West Virginia, 25411. Same ownership, same management. They're there to this day. And I walked in well after things had happened, well after things had cooled down, and there were no restrictions in the state or any of the surrounding states. And I went in there, and there was a table in front, and it had masks, but the masks were for sale, for cash only, right inside the door. And all of them were like rainbow flag masks.
Yeah.
So I came in with the wife and saw it and made like a small comment. I barely got it out of my mouth, barely said anything. And couldn't tell if it was a man or woman, but someone about 20 feet away from me with a mask on said, "You need to put on a mask or you need to leave."
Yeah.
At that point, oh man, I'd love to finish the story, but
Oh, no, keep going. Don't stop on my account. I should have said, "Hey, I'm here," so I didn't interrupt anything.
it's
You
okay.
should have knocked
You did.
first.
Yeah, I'm sorry. It's a faux pas on my part. It's a cursed world, y'all.
It's
cursed.
going
Let's
to
say it
be a
on three.
cursed world here.
Let's say it on 3. 1, 2, 3.
It's
It's
been
been a
Cursed world
it's a
cursed
cursed
world
world.
problems, baby.
Problems.
There's a special curse.
So as always, everybody in the chat, be faithful to let us know if we need to change any audio settings or anything like that. We'll see how we're how everything else is operating. See, I think everything's going swimmingly so far. But yeah, so we were just discussing. If you didn't hear that, it's just to kind of open us up this evening. Open us up in prayer
Yeah,
this
good.
evening.
Right.
Do you have any core memories
Yeah.
of the last 4 years, or not the last 4 years, but the first couple years since 2020 that really tickled your nuts
Oh, wow.
in an
Well,
angry
well,
way?
I mean, in an angry way.
Yeah. in an
Oh,
angry
I was
way.
a very angry boy for a while there. I was probably unpleasant to be around, especially in public, because I took nothing seriously. Especially at a certain point, like I'd go into the store, and I wouldn't wear a mask, obviously. And the little greeter there has got his 3 masks on. He's like, "Please, sir, can you wear this?" I'd go, "Okay." Just rip it and put it on. He'd give me another one. I'd like put it on my head. I was insufferable to people in public.
Yeah.
I apologize.
Yeah, we're getting a quick message here, Wes. Maybe turn down your, if you go into your audio settings. Yeah, turn down your input.
Is that better?
I think that's a little bit better. Justin, go ahead and give us a little test talk.
Yeah, I thought he sounded good coming through my own, but I know it's not the same on YouTube.
Yeah, you sound quiet to me, Justin, on my end, but I know that's
Oh.
not the same as YouTube.
Yeah.
Well, shoot, maybe I should just try to. Mamma mia. I'd hate to do this on the fly, but let me try something. I'll be right back.
Yeah.
You guys, talk it out, hash
We
it
should
out.
be good now. If you just turned it down a little bit, so I think we'll be okay. And then there we
Hold
go.
on, let me go.
Perfect. Says we're fixed now.
What,
So-
even mine?
Yeah, no, you're good. Just keep
If
it
you're,
close
if
to
you're
your
good on
mouth.
YouTube, this should be fine. Yeah.
Yeah.
Man.
I think you're fine if you just keep it close to your mouth. So, Wes, Mr.Wesford, is that what you want to go
What's
by?
up? Yeah, I guess. I mean, it's weird as a convert, especially as somebody who, there's no Saint Wesley for me to have chosen. So, I mean, my saint's name is Nicholas. Like half the people at my parish call me Nicholas. The other half call me Wesley. People are like, "What's your name?" I'm like, I don't know. You pick. It
couldn't
doesn't
even-
matter to me that much, I guess.
You couldn't even find a pre-schism Western saint.
Not that I found. No.
Yeah, I looked into those for a little while. There were some really, really cool. I looked at Saint David of Wales, I think, and I was really drawn
Oh, is there
towards
St.
that for a
Colin?
while.
Could you have picked St. Colin?
I don't think that there's a one-to-one. I think that there's a lot of derivatives. Like I could have picked Saint Callum or something like that. I remember there was one that was
Right.
very similar, but yeah.
There's lots of derivatives. Like my wife's saint is Dymphna, which is Daphne. So there's ones you've probably heard of other than like the original Celtic.
Yeah. So when did you first encounter Orthodoxy? You mentioned Orthodoxy. You mentioned that you're a convert. I've just been curious in general. I like to hear people's intro stories.
Well, in 2017, 2018, I was definitely going through like your typical Protestant deconstruction stuff, and I found Jordan Peterson, and through him, I started reading all the Dostoevsky books, and that was my first encounter of anything Orthodox. And then I started watching Pajot, probably late 2018, and then early 2020, like January, we started going to a parish, and then lockdowns happened.
Wow. What
So
was
how
that
did
like?
your-
Was it?
If you were going to work, deal with that.
It was.
Shut down.
Yeah, so like Cheese Fair happened, and we were getting to know people, and then the next week, it was totally shut down, and then it was just online, and then it opened up again for like 20% capacity. So if you had to show up early, and if you got there late, you weren't allowed in. You weren't allowed to venerate icons. You had to wear a mask. You had to be distancing. There was multiple spoons, and this is after we are going to the catechism class each week and learning. Basically, the priest was destroying all of my arguments week after week. Just every time I'd be like, "What about this?" And he'd go, "Oh well, there's this verse and that verse, and then like these 7 like church fathers off the top of my head." I'm like, "Okay, I'll get back to you on that." So I started believing in the real presence of the Eucharist, and then a month later, the same priest is using multiple spoons because he doesn't want people to get sick. I'm like,
Yeah.
"You've convinced me that I can't get sick from this, but now we're acting as though we can." So I just see some incongruity there.
Yeah, that's disappointing.
Yeah, it was definitely a weird time to I wasn't even a catechumen. We would have become a catechumen. We would have become catechumens earlier if all that stuff wasn't happening. But we ended up going to a different parish just because it was an OCA parish, and I know there's lots of really good ones out there. But ours was definitely, as we became more and more Orthodox in our thinking, we saw more and more issues with it, and we started feeling pretty alienated from those people. And we'd even just try to open up with the problems we were seeing, and we were basically just told it was our fault, or that there's something wrong with us, that we're not going along with all the narrative stuff. But we found a parish that never closed, and got to know that priest. Now he's our spiritual father, and trust him to hell and back. We don't think he'd ever do anything that would harm his flock. And we were baptized like a late 2021.
Wow.
That's rad.
Yeah, that's a good story, and it's also, I mean, it's gotta be common at some point here, because I feel like the influx. I mean, a lot of people talk about this massive American influx into Orthodoxy happening since 2020. And
Right.
obviously, I think things had been starting to pick up before then for whatever providential reasons. But since 2020, it's really picked up.
Right. So many people have been woken up to different things in general, and had their paradigms shifted
Yeah.
or shattered
And so I
in
was
different
listening
ways.
to
And some of them are, land in different places.
Listening to
Would you listen to what? What you listen to?
Father Stephen Damick, I don't know, a month ago or
Stephen
something, but
Damick.
he was talking about something similar, and he was like, yeah, the temptation is to be like, oh, see, orthodoxy is on the rise. But then when you look at the other stats, it's like it's been a big movement everywhere. Like people have like the Catholic Church has been experiencing more, and people have been switching sides in all different directions. So at first glance, I mean, I think it is an American Orthodox awakening, if you will. But
And I saw a
at the same
statistic that like
time-
just the OCA is at 6 million now or something like that, when it was at like
6 million?
500,000. That's
Yeah.
what I saw.
Yeah.
It said the
6 million
Orthodox Church in
seems-
America, which I assume they meant the OCA, and it said that's at 6 million members, and that's not including Greek, Antiochian, Serbian, as
Yeah.
far as I can tell with the article.
And
I
as
was
far
just
as
gonna say it may be true, but 6 million just seems high. Like just the number, you know what I mean?
Right.
6 million seems like a lot.
yeah,
I mean, that's just that is like 1.8% of America or something like that.
exactly. And so let's talk about Justin. Do you have some specific questions for Mr. Wesford? Actually, we have a question here in the chat. If you don't mind, if it's not too personal for you.
Yeah, I mean, I think we've got time. Do we have time for questions?
I think
Do we have
I think
time?
we have time. I
we
actually
have
got to
time?
wrap up here pretty soon. We spent a
Okay,
lot of
well-
time on the starting stream soon screen, and now I got
Are we starting the after party? Because I am.
yeah. So question
Don't
from
make me
the
feel like I'm
chat.
drinking alone.
Question from the chat here. We got Saint Nicholas the Arius slapper or Tsar Nicholas the Second.
Tsar Nicholas II is my patron saint.
You look like him.
That's what I've been told. I had a big mustache before I caught on fire.
Yeah.
Literally, not metaphorically as well in
During
the Lord.
Pascha.
Amen. But yeah, of course. No, a bonfire bit me in the face and I lost a lot of my hair. So
Wow.
there goes my mustache.
That stinks.
Yeah,
I bet it did stink for real. Hair burning is the worst.
my nostril hair was burned, so it
Yeah.
stunk within me. The stink was within.
Yeah, so
And without.
tell us a little bit about your channel. What types of things do you do? What types of things do you like to stream about?
Well, I mean, it started like a decade ago. I was making these dumb videos with my friends, just trying to make each other laugh. And about 4 months ago, I had this idea to do. I've been watching lots and lots of debates for years, especially the last like 4 years, looking at orthodoxy, watching a lot of Jay Dyer and Crucible and all that, and hearing all these atheists just make the worst arguments you can imagine. And I was like, okay, what if I just take what their argument, the form of it, and repackage it, recontextualize it so a Christian's saying the same thing. So I've been making these shorts called "If Christians Argued Like Atheists." Sorry, I have a rooster. Hope he doesn't bother you. He's here to stay. But I've been doing that 2 of those a day for like 4 months now. Just little jokes, intellectual little. Some of them are philosophical. My wife likes the ones that are really dumb and just like a spit take gag, something like that. But I've been doing these streams for I don't know, a month and a half, and some of them are interviews. I talked to somebody recently who lives in Mexico. He's a reggae artist who found orthodoxy through reggae. I talked to a flat earther. I've talked to several different people. Many such cases. There's only like 1 or 2 others, but I can act like it's more. Other than that, we just I hop on. I have maybe a premise. It's really unorganized, and it'll get better. It's kind of laying the tracks down as I'm going. Because I had this thought, like, when you start streaming, how do you start? Like, if you don't have an audience and you're doing this like live interactive thing, you have 0 people in the chat. Like, what does that even look like? So I did 2 streams just to like press the live, and I was in my back porch or whatever, and 20 people showed up. I'm like, where'd you guys come from?
Whoa.
So then it was just, okay, I've got 100 ideas of different streams I thought it'd be fun to do, and I've some of them I want to let bake, and some of them are just I hop on and where do you guys want to take it, and people just like send me videos to react to, or it'll be an open panel, somebody will jump on. I had like a 2-hour conversation with a random atheist from Belgium like a week ago. Good kid, really dumb though, really dumb.
Yeah.
I mean, that might be a function of being Belgian, though. No offense to.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's
pretty
true.
offensive
How do you
to say
parse
what I
those
do.
things out?
You know what's the problem with live streaming is when we record our little episodes, if I just feel full liberty to say something extremely stupid,
Ridiculous.
not
Yeah.
funny, and
Naughty.
very offensive. Let's see, just naughty, baby, yeah.
No, I still have never seen that movie. When I do watch Austin Powers for the first time, I might be the first person in the world to go like, "Oh, this is just like Cursed World."
Dude, it's not though.
Yes,
the
dude.
funny
Yeah.
part is you're gonna watch it and it's gonna be so different. What the reference? Our impressions are not. They're rarely true to life. We put a little extra
Okay.
razzle dazzle on them. We kind of make it our own. To quote the late great Randy Jackson, may he.
Live forever.
Is he dead?
Nah. That's one of
Okay.
those things I would have cut from an episode, but we're live streaming, so case in point, you know,
Right.
I'm kind of making the point as we go.
Is it? Do you
Yeah,
feel
buddy,
different right
why
now?
am
Do you
I
feel different
on?
right now with people looking at you and interacting than you do when it's just you in your room and you can edit it? Because I've done
Yeah.
both. I've had friends and I do podcasts or videos. This is the first time I've done something live where it's like I want to be funny and try new things, but I'm also like, if I can always take this down, but somebody can just record it or save it and it'll live forever. So
Yeah.
It's
I've peed
dangerous.
myself twice just thinking about our 4 viewers.
Here's the thing. This is
There-
what sets me and
yeah.
Colin apart. And if the viewers can't tell, and if you, MrWesford, can't tell, I'm literally ready to torpedo this thing. I don't care. Whatever, man. Throw it in the trash. Throw it in the ocean.
okay.
We should,
Okay.
But-
for the next stream, I was just thinking, just spitballing
Pirate
here. I
War.
was thinking we should have like a boner counter over in the bottom corner.
Well,
So
for
I'll have to,
the
like,
people in the
spin it.
chat, or for us? Okay.
Yeah, for us, and then I'll just tick that
Okay.
thing up each time I get one, and I'll give each of you guys a boner button that you can click,
Okay.
That's
and then
the
we'll just see
spirit.
that. It'll be almost like the COVID death counter on CNN, but it'll just be like
Okay.
how many times we're getting randy during the stream.
Gotcha. So, like with it being like the COVID, does that mean like there was no excess of boners? It was the same amount. We just changed the numbers around.
Yeah, yeah. I guess we're inflating the boner numbers. We
Yeah.
would be probably. I would be doing it for laughs, even though because
Not
here's
the only thing being inflated there, baby. Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
It would be tough
actually-
because it would just be one long gigantic boner instead of multiple. So I don't know. Maybe you click it for every minute you have a boner. I don't know.
Okay.
We'll
Yeah. So,
figure it
like,
out.
do we need a boner clock or a boner? Like, like, is it for the amount?
It's like
are
a
we
shot
doing
clock.
like blood volume? I would. Yeah.
Yeah, shot clock for how many times you splooge, baby. Yeah, mate. All right,
Mm.
that's enough.
You can't say splooge on the stream. You can't say splooge on the stream.
I can't?
say splooge on the stream. You can't say splooge on the
So-
stream.
I was.
Hey, Jamie.
Round.
I thought it was okay.
Pull that up.
Okay to say splooge.
Now you are.
Speaking of splooge, I mean, we have not been on our budget. We've been splooging left and right, spending money on
the
going out to
vacuum cleaner?
eat, spending
I'm sorry.
money on just stupid stuff. It's hard not to splooge.
I spent $20 on ice cream the other day. I felt terrible about it.
Yeah.
You ever do that? My wife and I just had our 5th year anniversary trip, and she wanted to go to this ice cream parlor, and I look up, it says like $6 a scoop, so we both get some ice cream. But apparently, it was like $6 a scoop, or over a certain amount of ounces, you
Wow.
get charged this much. So we get our ice cream, and it's $20. And then the next day, we were like wanting coffee, and I was like, I spent $20 on ice cream last night. I might have spent $5 on coffee. I don't know. It was just one of those like weird, like, how do I justify spending more money even though it's less money on something that I probably need more to drive to make this long trip? But I don't know, just one of those it broke my brain moments.
Yeah, it's usually the same for me, but with, I don't know, just like stupid meals. Like you go out and try. Like I'm not really interested in trying new restaurants because 9 times out of 10 it's going to be disappointing and it's going to be $100 meal just because like you get a drink. You get an appetizer, you get whatever. It's hard to go out and not spend $100 on like a date night, which is not that big of a deal. But when you do it and it's not that impressive, I'm not one of those types of people to like just let it roll off the old shoulders. I just go home and toss and turn all night thinking about how much money we wasted on a stupid meal.
Yeah, I most places you go to, you feel like I could have done this but better and for cheaper at home.
Yeah.
The only difference would be I'd be at home, and it would have taken me time to do it.
Yeah. Yeah. So Justin, let's get structured. What do you want to get into this evening?
Lightning round.
Okay. I'm feeling the lightning now, baby.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah,
What's
baby.
your favorite Tom
Yeah.
Cruise movie?
What?
Tom Cruise movie. Lightning round. 3 seconds. 3, 2, 1.
Oh,
Tom
I have to
Cruise.
answer. Tom Cruise.
Next
Wait,
question.
so I'm okay.
That's right.
The Mummy.
Lightning round.
But
Tom Cruise.
The Mummy.
Next.
The Mummy.
All right. Yep. The Mummy.
But,
Easy.
but with Brendan Fraser.
Correct. The Mummy with Brendan Fraser. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
What is one conspiracy theory you absolutely do not believe in?
Lizard people.
Okay. Can you elaborate? Lightning round is on
hold.
suspension for a moment.
Okay. Okay. I get time. Maybe Mark Zuckerberg.
So you think he's like the caveat? He could be the lone lizard
Right,
man.
right. Yeah, he's he's like the thief on the cross for lizard people.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like there's a reason he is one, but you're not just gonna get it on day one.
I mean, just look at him. Just look at him.
That's fair.
No.
But otherwise,
Okay.
I mean, yeah, probably not.
That's good. Maybe we can circle back on that. Maybe we put a pin on that. Put a pin in that,
Okay.
and we circle back. We just table that for now, and then we can.
Did you know that he's hot now? Have you noticed that?
Mm-hmm.
Have you seen that?
hot?
People say that he's hot. Yeah, he got like a perm or something and a spray tan, so he's hot now.
He grew out a little bit of this and a little bit of this.
Mm-hmm.
Wearing a cool necklace.
Yeah, deep V cut. Yeah.
Yep.
I'm just glad he grew up instead of growing out.
Am I right?
If you get,
Oh,
if you get
Do we
my
have to?
meaning.
Where's the boner counter? Where's the boner counter?
Boner counter. Ding.
We are gonna add that. Okay, so
Like
lightning
Cinema
round back
Sins?
on.
We'll fix it in post. We'll fix this in post. You guys can
Okay.
just,
Yeah.
just keep
Lightning
rambling.
round
We'll
is
Use
fix
your
it.
imagine. Use the boner ticker in your brain, in your imagination.
Yeah.
Close your eyes. Imagine the. I'm sorry. Go on.
No, that's all right. Colin's gonna bring us. Actually, if you'd like, you can do the honors, and later on do a guided meditation with us, and kind of
Okay.
have us walk through maybe some. What do they call that when you remember when you were abducted by aliens? What's it called?
Remote viewing.
Butt hurt. Oh.
No. It's like it's like the word like recession or repression.
What's the word?
Repression. Repressed memories.
MK Ultra.
Yeah, they MK Ultra you, but they make you think that you're remembering when you got abducted.
Oh, false
by
memories.
aliens.
You got incepted.
Yeah.
You got
You
hypnotized.
inseminated by different
You know, can we talk about Inception real quick? Everybody says like when it's something within a something, that's Inception, but the movie tells you it's when you make the person think that idea is actually their own when it's not. That's what Inception is. It's not just dream within a dream, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because it's the inception of the idea you're causing. Like you said, you plant it in their memory, and then they think it was a dream, and then they think that they had the idea. My gripe with Inception is that when people watched it, that's the first when they talked about it. They're like, "Dude, he was in a dream, but then he woke up and he thought that he was awake, but he was still dreaming." How did they even come up with that? And that's when I realized. Not everyone has that real life experience. So I'm like, are you? That's never happened to you, dude. I've like fake woken up dozens of times in my life where I like get out of bed and go downstairs and start doing something, and then I get a feeling that maybe I'm still dreaming, and then I wake up again. Does that happen to you, or has it?
That hasn't happened in a while. I remember once in high school, I fell asleep doing my math homework, and in my sleep, I remember doing all the problems and stuff. And then I woke up, thought I had done it all, went to school, time to turn it in, open it up, it's half done. I'm like, what the heck? But I'd looked at it so much that I like some of them, I was like, do these real quick. So I was able to fill some of them in. I mean, I could have just been like putting in random numbers. I don't remember how I did, but I felt like, oh yeah, I did this one in my dream.
Yeah. Is it true also that you and your friend in high school found a caveman frozen in ice in your backyard while you were excavating for a swimming pool, and then you thawed him out and brought him to high school dressed up as the cool new kid from some other country?
You talking about
And
the
then-
casino
Yeah.
man?
Actually, yeah, that's a story that we sold that story to some people that made a movie about it. Yeah.
That's awesome. So do you still get paid? I've always been curious about this.
No,
You
no,
or
I did,
your
I didn't know about royalties, so I got like $12,000 my mom took because I was underage. You know,
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's wild.
I never saw any of that.
But yeah, the movie, Colin was letting the audience in on the big reveal. That movie, if you haven't seen it, highly recommend. It's called The Casino Man. He
Right.
went and-
Yeah.
Brenton Fraser.
Mads Mikkelsen plays the bad guy. It's got a lot of good tense moments.
yeah, and the guy from Frasier was the main character.
And Rob
that played
Schneider,
Hugh,
his
I believe.
friend.
Rob Schneider, that also played Bilbong in the Lord of the Rings movies. He was,
Dang it,
I think,
Bill Bung got me, man.
it's stupid.
I think his name is
It's a
Billabong.
stupid- Yeah.
Can we get a boner ticker?
Can we get a boner ticker for that one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Colin,
Hey,
go
Jamie.
ahead. I was
If we're
listening to King
Yeah,
Pill today talk about
Chains.
What's that? Go ahead and stop interrupting me, please.
No, please go ahead. Please.
I'm just kidding.
Please keep speaking.
Hey, no, you
Just
can go
keep
ahead. It's okay.
talking.
No,
it's fine. Just
you
go
guys
ahead.
go ahead.
No, you
No, you go ahead.
I don't care.
Don't make me
Go
feel
ahead.
like I'm drinking alone.
No, seriously, go ahead.
No, you. Oh, you don't know who I'm pointing to.
I was listening to Matt from Kingfield today. He started a not he didn't start it today, but I was listening to him today. Recently, he started a daily stream, which has been honestly, I don't know how the dude continues to have content. He's probably content harvesting all day. Instead of passive scrolling, he's active scrolling and like retaining stuff and
Saving
saving
stuff, opening tabs, leaving it in folders.
Fantastic. I got to get into the habit of that just for the sake of it, because there's plenty. It's out there. It's never ending. It's a never ending stream of stuff that you can talk about, stuff that you can yap about. And anyway, he was talking about sports ball, as people call it, because there was a trend, not really a trend, but people talking about how silly it's more, I guess. Something I think is interesting is that Matt tends to have takes that are truly different and truly ascendant and past. Like, he sees through a lot of the veils, I think, and he's been a really good perspective changer for me for a lot of things. So one typical thing, so you've got normie sports watchers who are watching the game. They're always on the football game, and they're always clicking on the baseball game or whatever. And then you've got
Know all the stats.
They know all the stats, and then you've got, and that's fine. Lots of people are into that. But then you've got the people, I think maybe you could brand it conservatively, or maybe not, but you've got a lot of people kind of saying, well, that's just could you imagine being a grown man watching other grown men play a game on a ball field and get upset about it and stuff?
And I've heard like the alpha male thing. Like, are you really gonna in like anti-sports ball? Are you really gonna wear another man's last name on your back? Or what are you, a woman?
Yeah, exactly. And so
Wearing their jersey.
So that's a take, and I don't think that it's necessarily completely wrong. But Matt was talking today about how much of a wholesome thing and a positive thing it is, because it allows you to hone your patriotic like muscle and work the patriotic muscle to be rooting for your team, and to be like a diehard fan, and to get along with the people who are wearing your jerseys, and to hate the people on the other side who are wearing the other color. And there's something beautiful about tribalism in that sense, and that's something that is worth practicing, because it may come in handy, and it's a very Lindy thing. It stands the test of time, and it doesn't go away. Tribalism, it means like it's long lasting. It's something that flew back then and flies today and will fly 100 years from now, right?
Catch me up. Why is it called Lindy?
I don't know.
Do you know?
No, I don't even know what that. I don't. I that word escaped me. I don't know what the word you said. Lindy.
Yeah, Lindy.
That was
And
that
correct
Fergie song, right? Isn't there a Fergie song that's like, my Lindy, Lindy, Lindy?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So
I sure.
basically timeless, stands the test of time, right? And so people were doing it forever ago. They're doing it today. They're going to continue doing it. It lasts, right? And so tribalism is, Lindy, I think, is essentially the point he was making, and that it can be good. Here's the thing, though. I get that, and I think he's right. He made some good points that I agree with, but I also think that there is still maybe a reason not to, or a reason to be careful with it, because while it can be good to get into it and let your emotions get involved and follow sports and follow teams and practice, you benefit from practicing that tribalism and honing that. You also have the risk of the masturbatory thought process of, these guys are doing it, I don't have to, and more like living vicariously through other people, right? And so like, it's the same thing as sitting and watching, instead of starting your own homestead and getting chickens and building a chicken coop in your backyard, just watching the dudes on YouTube do it, right? And so that satisfies. It's like playing video games. You could sit down and really progress in your Zelda or in your Skyrim, and your character is OP, but in real life you've got boobs and you've got Grover arms, and you don't have a girlfriend.
But I have those. I have those in the video game too.
Yeah. So that could be a way to do it. True.
Who
You
were
know.
you thinking about when you said the person that is a man, but they have boobs and they have Grover arms? Who were you
No-
thinking about? Someone? when you
nobody
said
in
that, or-
particular.
Yeah, it was in your mind.
No,
Can we get a boner ticker, anybody?
boner? But yeah, no, there's a real risk to that. Playing video games, it is the same thing happens to your brain whenever you're watching Nog, when you are tricking your chemicals to think that you got the thing, when in real life you didn't get the thing. You only practiced like instant gratification and not working very hard for something. And so translate that to video games. You're working real hard in your video game, but life is staying the same around you in real life. And then translate that to sports. You're getting so invested in guys running a ball back and forth and things like that. Not to be too reductionist or whatever.
The ball moved over a line.
Ball moved over a line. And if you're not also doing something for yourself, I think it can be dangerous to get off on it. Get your rocks off on it, if you will. Get your rocks off on it, if you will, and then never actually, like, it satisfies that part of your brain that feeds off of accomplishment. It satisfies those dopamine receptors, which are given to us by God to drive us to, like, get better and progress in real life, but it's being satisfied by something else. Does that make sense?
It does, and I think people do that with other things, not just like video games and sports. I mean, people can like verbally masturbate as well, where it's just like, I'm gonna do this thing, I'm gonna write this book, and they start telling everybody about how they're gonna do it, and maybe they sit down to write once, but then they get the ability to talk. Hey, I did this thing, I'm doing this thing, but they're not really doing it. It's about that feeling of the dopamine hit. I mean, that's one example I see. I've probably done that. I've seen people do that.
Well, it's the same.
Yeah, I used to. Even like I remember like a decade ago, I would like have this back pain, and I even just like watch like videos of people getting massages or like chiropractics, and be like, it's almost like it's happening to me if I just like close my eyes and listen to the
Instagram
I don't know what
reels
that
where
is.
they
It's
put
way
in the
cheaper to
fake
do
crap.
that. Yeah.
They put in the fake like to the person just getting their butt cheeks rubbed or whatever for the video. Yeah, I don't know. It's
Boner
definitely
check. Boner ticker.
boner check, please.
Yeah, I don't watch them butt cheek rubbing videos on TikTok, man. That's a dark,
Why not?
dark alley in TikTok.
What's wrong? I'm just kidding. Yeah, no, I stay away from
You
that.
don't think that's gonna cause me to stumble watching some guy get his butts grabbed?
All right. Come on. Now you've gone. Now you've taken.
There's
it
a lot.
too
There's a
far.
lot of. There's a couple of different ways we could take that too.
Yeah.
Tell us, go, man.
Tell us.
Well, I mean, like, are you empathizing with the one grabbing or the one being grabbed?
I didn't say the gender of the one grabbing, so there's plausible deniability. First of all, it could be a beautiful lady grabbing hold of the man's butts, and just because that's a problem for me doesn't. Let's just do the lightning round, for crying out sake. Let's do.
Yeah.
more
Is
lightning.
this?
They're
Are we still on
asking.
pause?
They're asking about the lightning
The
round
Mummy.
right now.
The Mummy.
Are you serious? Are you? In the
This
chat?
is the light. It's just real slow lightning.
All right, lightning round back on. Do you mind? Shall we? Can we?
Yeah,
Shall
lightning
we?
Yeah,
round.
sure.
Yeah.
Come on.
Okay. What do you guys think? Okay. Lightning round. What do you guys think about sports? Go.
I love playing sports.
What do you think about watching sports? You like watching it? Is it just as fun watching as playing?
It's not just
Like
as
watch
fun.
college football if it's like a team that if it's the school that I went to school at, or if it's the other one that I didn't but that it's WVU, I'll watch, and it's cool. I don't know. Young Bucks.
You ever done
running around.
fantasy football? You ever done fantasy football?
Nah, that I don't get into.
Too complicated. Not too complicated. I was never really a sports watcher. I probably would have gotten into it because I have like one of my vices. Do you guys want to hear about my vices?
Yes.
Boners.
Okay, are you the one? Okay, do you empathize with
the one
the one
having
getting the boner?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Having
You're always
boners.
asking.
Having boners, and number 2, gambling. I'm a fiend for money go up, money go down, lose money, win money, Right? I love it. Makes me feel happy. But fantasy football and gambling and stuff like that, I bet I would be into it. But I just don't know if it's an attention span thing. But I can't really do. I like to watch UFC, and that's about it. I can if I force
Okay, I was
myself.
going to go into my next question. Most fun thing to watch. Most fun sport to watch.
UFC.
Definitely not soccer. Let me just say soccer. I don't never understood the appeal. A bunch of
You're answering the
boys
wrong question.
running
Next
around.
question is, what's the least fun sport to watch?
Soccer. I mean,
You know,
and let me
okay. Do you know the best
elaborate.
argument I've heard? You know the best argument I've heard in favor of soccer? If you leave for a minute and you've missed a goal, you've missed one of the 3 goals in the game. So you missed a big thing. But if I leave basketball for 5 minutes, I've missed 20 points and it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
That's a fair point. But in basketball, at least it's not a bunch of guys running around trying to don't touch the ball with their hands.
Yeah.
He caught me in the arm, mate. Throw the yellow flag. Throw the card, mate. Throw the
I'm
yellow
never going to be able
card.
to pick up my kids again then, mate.
Tea break.
Yes, yes.
They have an
We
intermission
should
for
also
tea.
do a meter. We should do a meter that shows how funny I think that the stream is. It has
Okay.
nothing to do with the folks at home and whether or not they're pleased.
Everybody
but
sh-
it goes way into the.
We should get controls for everybody. We should develop this. If it's not, I don't know how it would be possible. Maybe we'd have to use something other than
Stream Deck, something.
Yeah, something where each person has like their little controls or whatever, where we can each manage our own meter. That would be funny. That would be very funny.
Mm-hmm.
We can
So I
probably
could
do
tell
that.
you when I'm not having a good time. Here's what
This is,
here's what I do in real life to tell people I'm not having a good time. Talk to me. Start telling me about soccer and like
So me and this other guy were kicking a ball around, and I forgot my shin guards, and he was like, "It's okay, you can borrow mine. I'll have one, you'll have the other, and hopefully we just don't hit the unguarded shin. So half of our shins will be guarded, but at least you will have the equal chance for being hit like me." So anyways, my mom decided she saw me walking around without shin guards, and she went ahead and bought some at a yard sale without even telling me, and then. Now I've got like 3 pairs.
The only problem
I'm
with
actually
that
interested.
gag or with that bit is that it looks like you're trying to take a picture of them rather than just scrolling on your phone.
Of course I was.
You
No,
know?
I was trying to take. If this is what I do to get people to, I take a picture of them, a photograph.
Lightning round. Should arena football stick? Should it stick around? Should it go away? Is it still a thing? Those are 3 questions. All of it. Go.
Arena
It's still
football.
run by Vince McMahon.
Y'all remember arena football?
Is this a video game?
No, this
like
is a real
XFL.
sport. It was instead of like what is a real football field? 100 yards,
Yeah.
right? 100 yards. It had walls, so there's no out of bounds, and it was like 50 yards, and it was like supposed to be more brutal, like rugby, and like more hands. They could like throw each other into the wall and stuff.
That
You remember
sounds
this
fun.
from like the mid aughts? It was like 2008. They were trying to get. I went to an actual game. I went to a game of it.
Wow. Did you participate?
No, I was 13.
It sounds to me a lot like combat jujitsu, where you're
Okay.
watching people roll around on the mat, but instead of just submissions, they can slap each other in the face. So it makes it a little bit more like they have to think harder and they can't just like hold down a position and then hang out there. It sounds a lot
Right.
like that. It also sounds a lot like I can't remember the name. Justin will probably remember, but a Sega Genesis game called like Boner Crunchers or something like that, where it was like all about the football.
It was called Super High Impact.
Yeah.
And they didn't have licensing to like use any actual NFL teams, so they had teams called like that. There's a team from Africa, and it was just called Africa. And then they had generic.
They were the
teams
best.
That had a logo. Yeah. Oh, they were really fast.
They couldn't be beat. Speaking of sports games, did you ever play NBA Street?
For like the
Volume
GameCube
2.
era.
Yeah, Xbox, GameCube. I don't think it was in the GameCube. I think it was Xbox and maybe PS1 or something like that, PS2.
Maybe like a single afternoon at a friend's house. I never owned it.
It's a good
Does
one.
this song ring any bells? Is that right, Colin?
Yeah, it's a good one. It's Reminisce by Nate Dogg or something like that. No, there was a different song on the soundtrack by Nate Dogg that was it's a really good one. It's called "Get Up" or "Get Up, Get Down," something like that. Fantastic
Come on, Get
song.
Down.
Explicit, so be careful. Don't get any boners.
They have. Is there? Okay. Lightning round. Do you guys think Australia's name for football is better than ours? For context, it's gridiron.
Ooh, ooh. Yes,
Right.
lightning round. Yes, for me.
Trillion
Okay.
percent. All right,
All right.
lightning
I
round
think
for
that's
you. What is one?
Okay. Yeah, I think that's
conspiracy
as far as I
theory-
got.
What's one conspiracy theory you 1,000% do believe in? I mean, the craziest conspiracy theory that you 1,000% do believe in.
Okay. Well, yeah. To create. I mean, like confirmed is COVID was a scam. I mean, come on. But craziest? I'm not convinced the moon landing was real. But I haven't. Tons of conspiracies. I've just kind of like done a little bit of dabbling, flirting with, and never like really done the rabbit hole. The thing that makes me, this is not merely lightning round worthy, but lengthwise, but the interview of all of the astronauts after they've landed on the moon, and they act like they've got all of their family with a gun to the back of their head, and they're walking on eggshells. Real weird. Doesn't make any sense. And why were they quarantined for like a month after coming back from space? What was that about? Was that just because they were being interrogated in MK Ultra? I don't know.
Yeah, it's very similar to.
Apparently it's because their immune system was so fragile from being in space for a day or two, whatever it was.
They had their immune system was their immune
on.
system was.
All right.
Their immunity wasn't landing right, man.
Yeah, exactly.
Just like that joke. That joke wasn't landing right.
Yeah, thank you.
The joke was landing.
You're welcome.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. What about you, Juss? Craziest, actually, one that you don't. Because what are we borrowing this from? Isaac Weishaupt?
Yeah. Yeah, I forgot to say I ripped it off. He asked guests. He doesn't have a lot of guests.
We're just
on his
borrowing
show.
it.
Yeah, we're just
Okay.
borrowing it. But yeah, he always asks, and it's always like just really fun, fun question. Which is, I think he asked it both ways. What's one conspiracy theory you don't believe in, and what's the one that you do believe in? I think I'm the same as you, where I'm on the fence about a lot of them, because the reason why, if it was like completely compelling and there weren't arguments on both sides, then it would be like blown wide open. There's always arguments on both sides, and that's what make them interesting. And I think the powers that be benefit sometimes from that ambiguity. Like they want people to be talking about it, and it lends itself to the idea, to the feeling, and to the wider spread subconscious belief that truth can't really be ascertained. And dude, I mean, we could go some places with that idea. For example, and I'll answer the question, but I think this is important. The whole idea that like, well, who can know? I mean, how much can we really know about anything? That as like a core belief that you can't really have truth when it comes to anything that matters, and maybe we'll know when we all get there in the end. Maybe we'll all know in heaven. That'll be
Yeah,
one of
you
the
hear
first-
that all the time. Yeah. Well, yeah, we'll figure out who's right when we all die, right?
Yeah, exactly. I think that like really tragically is super super pertinent in modern cultural evangelical
Postmodern.
Protestant Christianity. It's just that's what we grew up with, was always like, well, we got the Bible, we got the good book, and I think it's pretty clear. I think it's clear on this, but other people disagree. But that applied to almost everything when it comes to the most important questions of life and theology and heaven and hell and man, everything. It's always like, well, I mean, who can say? And
Yeah, I think it's people have like discarded the idea that there's things that are logically necessary, and like, oh well, we just can't know because there's different claims, or how would I even begin to know? It's like, well, if something's totally impossible logically, if it's self-defeating, then it can be cast aside. Easy one example is there's no such thing as truth. That's a truth claim, can't be true because it's self-contradictory.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I meant to ask you, and I didn't write it down, but I'm glad that you're bringing this up. I gotta do my own like disclaimer about myself real quick, and then I'm gonna ping this over to you and see if you can help me out. I'm one of these people that maybe I could understand these like lofty philosophical argumentation devices or like classical like the fine points that the dire types are all about, but I haven't, and I don't know if I'm going to because I don't know. It's just not my lifestyle. So, can you on this show today just sum up the not the transcendental, yeah, the
Tag?
transcendental argument, yeah, for somebody who, let's say that I only had 3 minutes left allotted to me for the rest of my life to hear about metaphysics and philosophy, and you had to give me in this 3 minutes all that I need to know about tag, and assume
Gotcha.
that
Well,
my IQ is not great.
man, I mean, I don't know if I'd be going to tag is just like I look at it as just like another tool on the tool belt. Like, and I think a thing that they can't do is change somebody's mind who has a hardened heart, which is a lot of people. So I mean, it's a logical proof of the orthodox position, but I think a lot of people who are against orthodoxy and against theism in general aren't thinking logically. They have like a hardened heart. So it can only go so far when people aren't willing to look at certain kinds of evidences. If somebody says, I only will accept physical evidence for God, or else I want to believe. I always just reply, okay, I will only accept metaphysical immaterial evidence for materialism,
Yeah.
because that's the same type of criteria. It's just it's a
What
impossible
does it
thing.
mean, though? Break it down for me. Like what? So
The tag?
any argument that says I'm appealing to something that is
Prior.
Okay, it's transcendent.
So the formal argument is X is the necessary precondition for Y therefore X. So God is the necessary precondition for knowledge. We have knowledge, therefore God exists. That is the formal argument of it.
Okay.
So you could say, to have a cake, it's necessary you have all the ingredients. We have a cake, therefore all the ingredients are present.
So it seems to me that people would just dispute X then. Why does God have to be the necessary? I'm going to play devil's advocate, and I know you've probably covered this in your live streams. I've watched a little bit of a couple of them, and I liked what was going on, and that's what made me excited to be like, we got to get this guy on. He's knows about stuff that I don't think about. I mostly think about boners and, football boys.
Boner count?
But
Boner count, what are we up to? What are we up to, Colin?
17 for me. I don't know about you guys.
Yeah.
Oh, wow, you haven't been calling them out. You haven't been calling them out.
Secret boners. They're just secrets. They're mine. They're my own little secret.
Huh?
There may even be some extras in there.
Did you guys ever play the penis game in like middle school?
Yeah, of course. Where we all
Okay,
whip out our
that's right.
penises in the locker room and just like swing around, and that's one. Yeah, I've done that one.
Yeah, what game is it?
Well, I think Colin's actually just coming out about being molested by a teacher or something like that. But the penis game is where you quietly, like, three of you are on a mission, and it's like like any game, you have a turn, and it's on your turn. You have to say the word penis, and each time it's your turn, you have to say it louder than the person before, so it's escalating. And the person to get caught by the teacher loses. So you always have to say it louder than the person before, and it ends up you guys shout it and like hide your face and like try not to be caught.
The hard part about the penis game is that it's not like
Hard part about what?
The hard part about the boner count. The hard part about the penis game is that you would have to have like a meter. We're talking about meters tonight. It's a theme. You'd have to have a meter showing your level, your loudness level.
You're doing decimal
Like
system.
It's just relative to the person before you. I mean, you're like, all sitting on your desks next to each other. So
yeah, but you'd
sorry,
have to
but my
have,
cock is being so loud. I don't know if you guys can hear the rooster. You hear him?
I think it's good. I think you'd
Okay.
have to have like silent library set up where they have microphones, kind of like testing how loud you get, and if you peak too much, then the teacher hears you. We should turn the penis game into a video game, an indie game for Switch.
So, what question did you have about tag again?
Oh, the question was, why does
You said
God-
people
Why
would
is
just
God the
dispute.
necessary precondition?
Yeah.
necessary precondition for knowledge?
So that would get into what's called the disjunct of tag, which is logically there are only so many possibilities that there can be. So okay, let's say we implement another variable into the formula. X is the precondition for knowledge. Okay, is it philosophy? No, I mean that like then we can start to go. Okay, well, it can't be that. Okay, let's look at a paradigm level between the Orthodox Christian God and let's say the atheist paradigm. Okay, can atheism account for knowledge? We have knowledge. We say we have knowledge, but atheism cannot account for it. They'll be like, oh, we just have it. We don't need to account for it. We don't need to justify it. So therefore, it starts to become a logical contradiction of how can you have something and they'll try to ask them, can you justify this? So why, like, justification is just we have good reasons to believe this. Like you have this claim. The atheist claim is we have knowledge. Okay, how do we know that we have knowledge? And then it would say because we use it. Okay, well, using something doesn't mean I'm justifying it, because then that just gets into utilitarianism. And if we start to logic out other aspects of that, if you start to bring up ethics, which they like to, they'll say it just ends up being pragmatic, utilitarian. We do the things that bring about the best outcomes for people, reduce the most harm, bring about the most joy in people. And then that begs all those questions of okay, well,
How do you
can
know
a
it's bad?
dictator yeah, how do you even know that's begging the question of what is the good anyway? So then that just keeps going to other things. So then the tag is reduced down to being proven by the impossibility of the contrary, which I know a lot of people will just say is the argument of ignorance fallacy, but I disagree. Because let's just start with trying to parse out different worldviews. Okay, so is the universe logic? Is it teleological or disteleological? Which just means does it have a purpose? Does it have intelligibility baked in, or does it not have intelligibility? Is it intelligible? Unintelligible, sorry. And if it's unintelligible, then we don't have access to knowledge. But if we have knowledge, then it must be intelligible. So there must be teleology. And okay, then we have to account for why there is purpose, why there is intelligibility. And we would say because God is the designer of the universe, he has given us the ability to understand his design and the intelligibility of everything. But atheists will have these things that contradict that, such as we all came from nothing, the universe came from nothing. There is no purpose. We're all just going to end up dying in a heat death of the universe anyways. It doesn't really matter. But then they want to also have these things that contradict that of human dignity and human rights and all these things that just logically can't mesh. You can say like, oh, we'll do them anyways because they're practical. They have better outcomes, but then that ends up them saying we want Christian ethics without the Christian God. We want the fruits of Christianity without the tree is what that ends up being.
And they'll say
all that
they'll go on and just be like, a lot of times they'll say, well, we all know what's good. We all inherently
Right,
know
yeah.
that whenever you punch somebody in the
Or-
face for no reason, it's not good. So why do we even
Hurts
have
my
to explain
feelings.
it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, or they'll say, gosh, my brain just stopped. Or they'll say, oh yeah. So yeah, why, in your view as an atheist, why shouldn't we kill people and take their stuff because that makes my survival increase? That increases my power in the world, my maybe my prestige. And they said, well, are you saying that murder's good?
Yeah.
You evil person? And I'm going, no. Even if we both agree that something is bad,
Yeah.
that doesn't mean that we both agree on the reason why that thing's bad, or that we
That
have the
short-
same worldview to account for it.
That little short circuit that you're talking about, where they like miss the point because they snap at the idea of like the bait is there, but it's not even like intelligible bait. You're trying to make a rhetorical point, but then they're like, wait a minute.
Right.
It happened to me in grad school, and I haven't told this story very much to anyone, but I want to see if this has happened to you before.
This is the deep lore.
Oh, this
Oh,
is
wow.
the deep lore. So this is like 2000, I don't know, 12 or 13 or something, and I'm in a class with like it's a small class, it's like 8 people, and most people are older than me, and they're going for their masters, and they're like trying to, and it's like theoretical communication stuff. So really, what that means in this class is like doing these ethnographies and stuff, and trying to get to the contextual world of different communal people groups in order to. I don't have the verbiage here like at hand because it's been a decade or more, but it's a lot of mumbo jumbo, and I'm sure that it's for good reason to like get into stuff and like explore cultures, and it's like sort of psychological, sort of sociological, whatever. Anyway, interesting class, but the like foregone conclusion premise that everyone else had was that morality was fully subjective, and that, like you said, it was a utilitarian thing. It was so that society could function, and that all of these conventions that we have were arrived after so many millennia of like evolutionary psychology. And that just didn't make a lot of sense to me. And I said, it's not only like, well, why is rape wrong then if it happens in nature and it's part of, you know, the circle of life, and that's how breeding happens, why is that not the same in human culture or whatever? I didn't even ask that. What I asked was, because I knew that rape would be something that is egregious and everyone would agree is wrong, I asked, because one girl was getting real like smart about it and like really smug. And I said, okay, so let me get this straight. Yes or no question. If in 10,000 years, hence, like into the future, if rape is not only okay, but it's celebrated and it's the new good, then wouldn't a rapist today just be ahead of his time, a visionary? And I asked that, and dude, it could, one of two things happened. And to this day, I don't know what it is. Either she actually had a short circuit because it offended her so much to think of that, and she was like, well, that is not a good example because, and then who knows what happened. She like freaked out and she ended up leaving the room. And I'll tell you what happened after that in a minute. That still makes me laugh to this day. Either she actually short-circuited out of like sincere offense, or her pride was hurt and she had to figure some way out of it. So she pointed the finger back at me and she wasn't interested in facing the truth. Or it could have been some combination. One was on a subconscious level and the other was more conscious. That's probably likely. So she leaves. And then I thought that I'd look and someone would be like, that was a good point, bro. Why did I think that? I don't know. Or someone being like, that's interesting, but here's a counter argument, or anything like that. Instead, total silence. And then the professor said something like, well, you know, you brought up something pretty sensitive, didn't you? like shaming me for it, disregarding the point. And I'm like, are you not going to answer to this? You were the guy preaching to us that all morality and all ethics are socially constructed.
Right. Yeah. Well, then if it's relativistic like that, I mean, first off, that destroys our ability to have knowledge again. You can't claim to have knowledge if everything's relativistic. You have my truth versus your truth. And then you just don't have access to knowledge. You can't know anything. You're in teleological land. Everything's indiscernible, bro. But
and I was young,
like
I didn't know, well, I didn't, just to throw this in, I didn't it's I want to say this on stream, and I want to say it as publicly as possible for any, we might not have a lot of viewers yet, but I'll tell you what, if one thing I can do is have young people feel like they have permission to say, this is where the rubber meets the road. I'm not crazy for this, because there's a lot of gaslighting that can happen, and there are power in numbers. Because I distinctly remember calling my like youth pastor, still a good friend, but he was like, no, I mean, it seems like you made a good point. That's
right.
It's not surprising to me. You know, he's educated. He's like, it's not surprising to me they reacted that way, but that's where the rubber meets the road. That's not a bad example. I just needed that affirmation. So that's one of my personal goals, is being like, yeah, let's.
Well, yeah, they just said that there's no such thing as like objective morality. And you said, okay, well then rape isn't objectively bad. And they're like, yeah, you believe in rape? It's like, no, I'm asking you to be consistent with what you said is true. So if nothing's good or bad, then that isn't good or bad.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway, I'll let you keep going. I didn't mean to step on your toes.
Not only that, I mean, wouldn't evolution like naturally select for rape? Wouldn't it be like that just another option for you to propagate your genes and be more evolutionarily fit?
You would think.
I mean, how could you argue against it?
Yeah. Why would Christianity take over the globe? If it's about denying yourself and the meek will inherit the earth, and then there is like a communist like talking point of like, well, that's how they dupe you, is to sell you this to keep you
right. The opium of the masses.
Right, it just doesn't check out though, because we're already hardwired to be power hungry and competitive and greedy and lustful and to serve ourselves. So why would people go give their bodies up to be eaten by lions in order to
Right.
not?
Not only that, just the spiritual life in Orthodoxy is like the opposite of that. It's fasting and like intentionally suffering for Christ. It's picking up your cross. It isn't just like you get a different sort of satisfaction in grace from it, but it's not the same thing as indulging, like hedonism. It's not that dopamine loop.
But it is kind of selfish. I mean, can we be honest? It's almost like you just know. It's like you almost just like know the cheat code, because while everybody else is running around trying to store up treasures for this life and be self-serving, that's the way to lose in the next life. So we're just kind of like, we're still being self-serving because we want that next life reward, you know what I mean? And then you get there and you're like, Jesus is like, well done, good and faithful servant, right this way. And you say, Lord, I don't think I deserve this.
I can't take this.
It's like, that's just what a saint would say.
That's just what a saint would say.
Yeah.
Come right this way. And then he takes you to the next door over to the
Yeah.
extra reward.
And you just have to keep saying that, and you just like, well, all right, let me get you into this VIP section.
Yeah.
Right, and then you're like, VIP? I don't deserve that. In fact,
No,
let's just
that's
leave
you, Jesus.
room for a true saint. Yeah. And then he goes, fair enough. And then he reaches for a lever. And then he goes, no.
At certain points, like, wrong lever.
Yeah, but back to what we were talking about earlier, just with the philosophical.
Oh, man. Colin, before you do, we should just get this gag out of the way. I'm
Yeah, go for
sorry,
it.
Please. Forgive me, please. I saw
Also,
the look on your face.
get so close to your mic.
I'm so close, or you want me closer?
Get closer, yeah.
Oh no, you sound good there. That sounds good to me.
All right. If I have to be in here looking like
Yeah.
some kind of
I think you're
Star Trek
generally
villain.
quieter, and Mr. Wesford is generally louder. So maybe Justin can get in his things and raise his input.
Oh, I don't know how to do that. Well, while I'm doing that, elephant in the room. Yes, for the viewers at home, I am on night to co-host a show with. That's a given. All right, I'm well aware. I'm not some unself-aware monkey, but it's for a purpose, man. I'm doing it for the kids. Because when hold on, what am I even supposed to be clicking?
You go into
What are you
your
clicking?
settings. There's a
Do I
little
look like a-
cog.
Speaking of being a nightmare to stream with and co-host a show with, do I look like a villain from the show Star Trek?
Yeah, just hit the cog next to your name, next to your
Chucky
name.
from
Now,
Star Trunk.
What do I do?
down at the bottom, you should see your name and a cog. Oh, we just lost so
Uh-huh.
many viewers. I'm just kidding.
Dude,
Um,
listen, I'm trying to keep them entertained.
Bottom
while I
left,
do the
bottom
tech
left,
stuff.
user
I'm
settings.
multitasking.
bottom left,
Uh-huh.
cog, user settings, and then go to audio, video, or voice and audio, and then I think you can click and drag your input to like make you louder.
I don't see video audio when I click the cog. I see
It's under
profile.
app settings. It's the user settings, billing settings, app settings. Third option under accessibility.
Under accessibility, like click accessibility,
No, do you see it? Accessibility, voice and video, chat.
voice and video.
There you go.
That's
input
the one I clicked.
volume. Yep. And then
All
do you
right,
see input volume? Is that all the way up?
Oh, look, dude, I'm cranking that.
Oh.
I'm maxing that baby out.
All right, we'll
Is that
have
better?
to we'll have to see how the chat feels about his new audio, but you can probably back up a little bit now
All
that
right.
you turned it up.
That's fine.
But
I
back
kind of
to
like this though. I feel
you feel like Star Trunk.
okay. So what I was gonna say before Star Trunk, truly apologize. Honestly, one of the funniest ones we ever talked about. I don't think we ever did it on the show or anything, but the idea of like getting to heaven, but it was like a logistical mistake. It was a clerical error, and you get up there and you're like, wow, I didn't think I was gonna make it. Like I really thought I was going the other direction, but here I am in line. And you get up there, and St. Peter looks up, and he looks up from his book or whatever, and does a double take, and then you're like, well, go ahead and open the door. And he's like, all right, let me just get you checked off in the book here. Oh, it must be the other book. and he's trying to like on the sly reach for the lever, and you're like, what's going on down there? And he's like, oh no. He's like, actually, can you this sucks. All right, Colin, what was your thing?
I was just gonna say, well,
I mean, that's
Emmanuel,
literally in the Bible, though, man. He didn't have the garment, right? He didn't have a garment fitting.
yeah,
That's just right
the
straight
wedding
from the
garment.
Bible, man.
and
Yeah.
it's easily recognizable. You know, you just take a look right at him, and he's not wearing that fancy wedding garment. What do you think it looks like?
I mean, what's your soul? So it's whatever your soul looks like. I mean, in the icons, your soul's a little baby.
Whoa.
The wedding garment's your
Ooh.
soul. So like when you
How
when
was
he didn't
that?
have the soul, he didn't have the wedding garment befitting of the wedding. That's because he had an unclean soul. So in the iconography, like you can look at the Dormition of the Theotokos, her soul is being held by Christ, and it's like a little baby wrapped in like swaddling clothes. So
Mm-hmm.
that's the only picture in iconography I know of what our soul looks like.
Wow.
I didn't know. So in the Dormition icon that I'm used to seeing, where the
Yeah, she
apostles
is.
are round about her like the seven dwarves kind of looking thing, it really
Christ.
does. It made me think about Sleeping Beauty and Snow White and stuff, whether they are a type of biblical imagery of I don't know, the apostles and Mary. Only because I saw the Dormition icon, never thought past that connection. You're saying in that same image, there is a depiction of the soul
Soul.
of the Theotokos.
Yeah, it's in Christ's arm. I don't know if you can pull it up, but yeah, Christ is holding Mary's soul, and it's a like a little baby in swaddling clothes, just like wrapped up in linen.
That's
Looking it
amazing.
up
I
right
never
now.
made that connection, and I had always, because it's you don't go to liturgy and pay attention and not feel at least a little bit uncomfortable whenever you're communally reciting the prayer before communion, and you say and being bound up, I shall be thrown out of the feast, or whatever. I'm paraphrasing,
Cast out
but
by the angels.
cast out by the angels, because the garment I wear isn't a wedding garment. And you sit and think about it, and you're like, oh man, I was just kind of being silly. Like, what do you think it looks like? Because you just picture like shimmering robes, or you picture like a sparkling
Right.
galaxy garment or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no, that's a really interesting perspective, or a really interesting thought. And I'm assuming it's you're just kind of, are you just connecting dots by the
No,
iconography?
I can't remember which father I read, but I think maybe it was John Chrysostom that said that he was doing an exegesis, and he said that the wedding garment is the human soul. So his soul was unbefitting of heaven, and that's why it was cast out, because he didn't have the virtues. He was too tied down with his passions.
Yeah. And so just to call back to what we were doing here, and to show some interest in the chat here. Well, Emmanuel's been commenting and back about tag. He said that was a fantastic tag explanation in under 3 minutes, except at that 3-minute mark. Justin sadly perished.
Yeah, I mean, there's other things I didn't get into, like
no, that it made sense
a little
to me.
bit of rambling, but
It was a very initially a very concise, perfectly made sense, X, Y, what have you. I think that's enough said, honestly, and then you can elaborate a little bit for sure, but that really is the essence of it, and it's more to bring it into, like, did you ever do jiu-jitsu?
yeah, for like a year and a half. I'd like to get back into it.
And so you know how you play the game. You after you get over the hump of like just trying to stay alive, and you actually can kind of
Right.
You're confident that you
start
can
winning sometimes.
keep swinging. You start winning sometimes. It becomes less of a I'm trying to not die, and it becomes more of a what can I do to this person to set up my next attack. It's very much like chess. Do you play chess?
Yeah, I played some chess.
And so in chess, it's you're playing checkers if you're just thinking about the move you're doing. And everybody starts there for however long. I'm actually still there. But I dream of whenever I'll graduate to thinking of my next move and setting up something over here to get their attention on it so that I can do my move over here so they're not paying attention
Like a
to
feint.
it. A feint, exactly. To take it into
What that means.
to boxing whenever
That
you're
means,
like,
look at this hand, bam.
yep. And so
That's allowed.
That's
Yeah.
allowed. And so with the tag argument, it's
That's not
not
against the rules. That's doing a trick on them. All right, sorry. Keep going.
in some tournaments it's actually against the rules to trick your opponent. And so thinking about debate being a chest like type and jiu-jitsu being a chest like type, and so tying it all together with tag, it's not necessary. I mean, I feel like it is its own thing, and it does stand up on its own. It's not like a trick or anything, but it does inevitably lead into all of the other things, like you said. Like they'll start opening up the other things, and then it just allows you. It's almost like putting them on their back foot, so that you can be the person posing the questions and poking the holes and having them defend themselves and defend their arguments, because ultimately it is the almost like the end of the line. It's like the dead end. You're making the argument that because we're sitting here talking as if there's knowledge to be had, and that as if there is a right or a wrong and we can argue that, it necessitates the thing behind that, the prior question, the prior existence of the intelligence, or the thing that is the origin of the intelligence.
And it presupposes like a landscape where these things happen. I don't know if you already alluded to this when I was zoning out for a sec, but it presupposes that there are laws that cannot be measured or observed in the physical realm. You can't use chemistry or physics or even quantum this and that to discuss or tinker with the boundaries of these laws of I don't know.
Well, it just depends on the position. Like I think tag is like the tag argument and the presuppositional argumentation aren't one-to-one. They're not the same, but they are married to each other, because tag ends up pretty much inevitably going into presuppositions with comparing worldviews at a paradigm level. That's just like, so you and I say we have this knowledge of something. Okay, then this presup is, let's look at the lens in which we're looking at that thing and compare the lenses, who is looking at it most accurately, who is contradicting themselves, who's not, or what is the ground on which you stand that you're looking out upon. And that instead of just going like, I have the knowledge, it's like, well, again, it's asking the epistemology question of how do you know that you have that knowledge. So I think tag is very good against like atheism, for instance, because it's just, to me, it's like the bottom of the barrel, intellectually speaking, because like you mentioned like ethics earlier, being atheism has to say that it's relativistic, but it wants to be objective as well. When you bring up like things that they don't like, that hurts their fifis, the like determinism, or like what did you just mention a minute ago that started this whole thing off?
Boners, I think.
Okay, yeah, boners. So like, you have a boner that presupposes that there was some stimuli. So it presupposes that you have blood flow, that you're alive, that you're attracted to women. Amen.
Amen.
So,
Amen. And can we start saying wiener though? Because when I hear penis, I think of like an anatomical reality. When I say wiener, I think of like a little Bart Simpson cartoon.
Oscar Mayer. Okay.
You know what I mean? That's not so harsh. It doesn't have the nozzle sound of penis, like a gas nozzle going.
Bingus! Justin, you have kids? Justin, you have kids?
Kyle got kids.
You got kids? This is one of those things that happened to me that's really funny, that makes me... I feel like in certain contexts, like people are just going to take you out of context and make things weird no matter what. But like the other day, I got out of the shower and my 2-year-old daughter ran into the bathroom, and I like quickly grabbed a towel and put it on, and she looks at me and goes, can I say hi? I'm like, what the hell? No. What do you know? What are you talking about? Like,
that's wild. No one should have told her. She should have just thought,
right.
Barbie doll, like everything's just a flat patch everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
I mean, well, we my wife and I owned an in-home daycare for like 6 years together, so we have done lots of research and gotten very good at taking care of kids from like infant to 6 years old or so. And we pretty firmly believe like you shouldn't use like cutesy words like wiener and pee and hoo-ha with your kids. Just use the anatomical words, because the perverts will use those cutesy little words to try to engage with your children in public. And if they're like at the pool talking to your kid while the kid's not unobserved, and they're asking about their pee, that's not going to raise a lot of flags. That's like a euphemism. But if the pervert says that to your child, and he's like, "Do you mean my penis?" People are going to go, what?
Yeah,
It's going to turn some heads.
Yeah.
That's good, like tactically, and also there's that sweet revenge if you can ever get your little grubby paws on an actual pervert. Then you
On
use
an
that language
actual
with him.
penis.
No, I'd say wiener. I'd be like, your wiener's about to be in a world of hurt, big guy, bozo.
Yeah. No, it's definitely, it's something to think about, because I've thought about it. It's a lot of times just naturally the baby talk and all of that kind of stuff just comes into play, I guess, because the assumption is that you're holding off until a certain point when it will be reasonable or appropriate to discuss such things. You know what I mean? But if you're just from day one, from day zero, speaking of things normally and all of that, then there's no ambiguity, there's no weird whatever. So we've got a 4-year-old boy, and so we just naturally just do the whatever, like dink or dinky or whatever, just because it's like little kid, whatever. I don't know. It just seems weird. I think mostly I didn't really think about it too much, but if I had to think about it and come up with a reason as to why, it would just be because generally we wouldn't, because kids talk about things so easily and all the time and in all contexts. It's I guess it's less comfortable if they're walking around talking about penises and stuff like that, and then it's like it calls something to your mind, like your kid is aware of penises. I don't know, but that's just like a knee-jerk reaction.
They definitely by 2 years old, they're definitely aware of it. Yeah,
it's all they care about.
What? Emmanuel made a fantastic point. He said that we could have given away the trade secrets now, and when the pedophile shows up, they could, they use the anatomical word.
If
they do
oh my gosh!
So.
Well,
we'll just fix it in post.
Yeah.
Fix it in
okay.
post.
No matter what, the anatomical word is going to be more likely to be like picked up on the radar.
Yeah.
If you're at the pool with your girlfriend, just hypothetical, and you hear a little kid say penis, you're more likely to be like, what, instead of just like pee-pee is gonna be background noise.
Yeah, I hear someone say pee-pee at the pool. I'm like, that doesn't even move the needle.
Everybody's
like,
the blue stuff in the pool. Yeah, but
right.
Especially like you'll the pervert's more likely to be like, if he has a kid that's actually.
Do we do a role play?
More adult. Okay, yeah. Okay, I'll be the. Who do you want to be?
I'll do the. Well, obviously, I'm going to be the pedophile. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Okay. So
I've been looking. Okay. Sorry. I'm excited. Boner ticker. Boner.
No, I don't think so. Not this time.
Listen, I was wondering, I got some candy here and a little bit of beer. I was wondering, perhaps, where's your parents at? They're not around here nowhere, are they? Maybe I.
Oh, they're over there. They're in the bathroom.
They're over there. Do you know about what is a wee-wee or a pee-pee, poo-poo?
You mean my penis?
Poopy. Oh, no, don't say that.
What did you just say penis?
No,
there's a pervert.
He's talking about my penis.
I was talking about the poopy. You misheard the child.
He puts the pee-pee in the poo-poo.
No, I said that there was a poopy. I said I was looking out for a poopy. I gotta get out of here.
Insane. I am on my back porch, and I really hope my neighbors are inside. I do.
And scene.
That was good. That was really good. I think that we could take the show on the road. Also, I love
and the poopy pee-pee was. Yes, and it was.
My name is Colin, and
it was
this
primordial.
is a bag of potato chips.
You guys talking over each other to do like the lowest quality retarded jokes. No, I did the lowest quality retarded jokes.
We should definitely, for future reference, we should definitely be doing more scenes. We should be doing more scenes.
Oh.
Less interrupto.
Yeah. And then up on our board Colin, are you showing trade secrets on the board?
I
hope
checked it
people can't read.
before. I checked it before we started. I don't think there's anything
We
to.
wrote- We write notes up there to make sure that we don't do the things that are gonna tank our show forever. We're just trying to get it off the ground. We got like 100 and some followers, subscribers, whatever the word is, and so we write things to not do. And I think we did a good 3 or 4 of them here tonight on the live stream. So,
That's
Which
exactly
one?
Right.
Can you give me an
I don't
example?
want to call attention to it.
Was it the pedophile? Or you guys talking about? There's a pedophile one.
Big capital letters.
Okay, yeah, yep.
With like circled 3 times on the board is like, don't talk about that stuff. It just doesn't play.
Right.
It's in bad taste to even like, what'd you say, Colin? The quote was from LOTR about like certain things shouldn't even be spoken about or something. Really
Yeah.
bad paraphrase.
I mean, don't knock it till you try it, right? I mean,
True.
is that an axiom that we can all agree to?
Yeah, I think Bilbo said that. I think Billabong said that.
Yeah.
No,
I
it's
think
actually.
Gandalf said, as long as you believe in something, that's all that matters. Really.
I think.
As long as you follow your heart, Frodo.
Yeah.
Is this the lightning round still? What question was it?
Lightning round is
what question
almost
are we on?
over.
It's wrapping up.
Favorite lightning round. Favorite Lord of the Rings book or movie.
Return of the King.
Return of the King. And why?
Because strawberries and cream.
I'm a little lad who loves berries and cream.
Carry the load, share the load.
I thought you were breaking into the Enya song in
Oh,
May
what
it
is that little
be
In the arms of the angel. You know what I'm looking over here laughing at? And I don't know if this is kosher to talk about on the stream. This is probably very faux pas. You used that word earlier. I just watched. Oh man! Hey, look! If you're enjoying this, tell all your friends because I just watched our subscriber count go down by 1. That's an actual subscriber that we lost for talking about pee pee poo poo at the
You guys are
swimming pool in
welcome.
Yeah. Hey, who needed that guy? Right?
Yeah,
That guy.
what a
Good
jerk.
riddance.
Probably a pedophile. Probably it's because we said penis.
Oh yeah, dude, he got spooked. He's like, I'm out
Whoever
of
that
here.
is, pedophile.
Yeah. Unless he wants to redeem himself and he can resubscribe. Look,
and bring 5 of his kid friends.
Yowza.
Or a little
man.
razzle dazzle.
Well, we're
Yeah,
hitting.
well-
We're coming up on about an hour and 30-ish. What
What do we do after the lightning round?
after the lightning round? We
just
had
do closing thoughts. We do current events. Your current event, Napoleon. We definitely do current events, and then we can just kind of like, I don't know, get the good important stuff. There at the tail end. What do you say, Kyle?
I say yes. Is this still lightning round, or are we officially ending?
Lightning round is one more question on the lightning round. I got it pulled
Okay.
up here. I got it queued up. Hold on. One question on the lightning
All
round.
right, lightning round. What's
is-
your favorite current event?
Yes.
go on, sorry.
What is your favorite current event? That's the final question.
Was that it really? You're saying you're pulling it up?
You guys just reading it. I can't. Could you see my screen?
No, I can't. No. Did you think I could?
It said what? I don't know how you got it word verbatim. You said, "What is your favorite current event?" It's
That's the
bizarre.
Holy Spirit, eh, Ben? I'm still
Amen.
kind of reeling over the Miami alien thing at the mall from January 1st. You guys remember that? I know that's not like current, but like, what was that? You know what I'm talking about?
Oh yeah. The
1000%. They killed that
like
story
1,000 cop
hard.
cars.
no, and black helicopters.
Yeah. And there was like
Just
they said there was
black
like
eyes.
12-foot tall aliens and like groups of 30 ruffian children with sticks.
That
was
is,
going on?
it's pretty nuts that it didn't stick around and that more didn't come of that because it really was just like a one-day story.
Most people I talk to don't even know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, it just kind of came and went, and unless you were, because it was on TikTok, it was on Twitter, like people were talking about it. It wasn't just some very small thing. It was the real deal for 14 hours. And so, yeah, that's a good current event. What do you think it was, truly? Do you think that it was some sort of... Because if there's different takes. I mean, some people said that it was just the you know who, a certain group of people that I guess was being covered for or something, like people just like open violencing in a mall or something, and then they just chalk it up to aliens. That was one take that I heard. But also, I don't know. What do you think?
My honest opinion is it's probably like AI video that was being released, and it just had like a simple narrative, and then they were just data mining all the people's reactions to it to see if people would take it for serious. What kind of sway can a story like that have when it's totally fabricated, totally absent? It's just digital, just either in a studio set or AI footage being
That's
created,
really
and seeing
interesting.
people will take it for real. I mean, that's
And
because
then
you don't
think
see
that
it.
they
You don't see a
think that they
single
killed
person
it?
being like, this I was there, or my cousin was there. You don't see like there's not a single person reacting as if they were there, or they had an inside scoop, or their cousin told their sister who told their mom. And every single there's like 4 different camera angles, and they're all just from up high, and you can't see anything. You just see thousands of cop cars. I mean, that wouldn't be hard for like the footage to be doctored. Like the only thing I really know that happened in physical reality is that they had the airport in Miami closed for a day or 2 or 3, 4, 5 days, something like that.
So, do you think that that's why they killed the story, or like they didn't let it keep going, is so that people didn't continue to investigate? Because otherwise, it feels like the trajectory of things falling off is pretty natural normally, and if it's a bigger thing,
Right.
then it takes a while for it to longer for it to fall off. But with this one, it really did feel like it was isolated to that couple of days, and then the only thing you ever heard was people acknowledging that it wasn't a story anymore. People saying, "Wait,
Right.
what happened with that 3 days ago? Did we ever hear the end of it?"
I think that's just part of like the variable. If we throw out something that's like pretty clearly, or like can pretty reasonably be considered fake or doctored, and then we just have it disappear, will there still be people that totally believe it? Will it's like gas. It's just a variable. Like what if we do this and we pull the story away and act like it never happened and never acknowledge it? What do people end up talking about it?
And
What are
well,
they tweeting
Emmanuel
about it?
makes
How
a
do they
good
react?
point that regardless of whether or not that was the express purpose of the entire stunt, you can almost guarantee that they were they were still harvesting data no matter what, and getting good
Right.
intel on it, on reactions.
Yeah, trying to understand group psychology of how they react to things online, react to stories, react to doctored footage, all that.
And they do it.
I don't know if there's actually anything in person that happened at that mall, or if it was just all fake footage.
They do it for
I
real
think it
things and
was
fake
100%
things.
real.
But it just made. I
think
was
it was
just thinking about
100%
it today.
replicated.
I was
You
just.
think it was 100% fake? Is that what you're saying?
No, 100% reptilian shapeshifter. 100%
Oh
real.
yeah, it's Mark Zuckerberg. We brought it back.
Yeah, we did.
It was just him there.
I was just thinking about it today, how the machine works in such a way that regardless, I mean, you could look back at any event over the last however many years and sit and wonder whether it was a flag or whether it was a real flag, and whether so the one in particular that popped into my mind was, I think it was in, I don't remember when Pizzagate was, 2014, something like that. And you had that dude show up to Comet Ping Pong with the rifle and like not open fire, but just brandish it, I guess, or something, and go in and try to find the basement or something. And that was a news story.
He might have popped a couple off.
Some crazy dude who was upset trying to save children, and so could have been real. It could have been somebody who was off their rocker and was so passionate about something worthy of being passionate of. Like if only it wasn't just one dude. If only it was like 100 dudes, right?
Yeah,
But
I was gonna say, what do you mean off his rocker? If we're gonna say the words Pizzagate on the stream, let's go full bore, baby. Just kidding. I'm not going to.
No,
I have a
just kidding.
job.
I've never really looked at actual like arguments for it, or if there was actual things going on. I mean, a lot of the conspiracy stuff, the like follow the money, see where it goes, and motive stuff makes a lot of sense to me. Like with JFK's assassination, like the motives make sense to me for the deep state, for the FBI and the CIA to get rid of this guy who's threatening them. But then it's like looking at all the details of what do we know about the investigation? Would those people investigating even be in on it? How can we trust any of that? What is it? Just a guy who doesn't like him that killed him?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, with
but
the
the
dude that-
motivation makes sense for the conspiracy to me, and especially because that's where conspiracy theorists came from. Was after JFK, the
Yeah.
government disseminated the idea of conspiracy theorists being a negative thing.
Well, with the guy that showed up at the pizza shop with the gun, whether or not he was a real dude who was in passion, showing up to make something happen, or whether or not it was a total setup just for the story to like get people's eyes to like feel bad for the pizza owner and stuff like that.
Could he have been an actor?
Could have been. It's just
conservatives
either
look
way.
crazy
That's
and
the
gun
thing.
toting.
If somebody does like they have it, that's where the media machine is so powerful and makes people get all black-pilled and like, oh, well, we can't do anything about it because if somebody stands up and does something, they're just going to spin it and it's going to be a one-off and they're going to be the lesson. They're going to make a lesson out of them. And even if nobody does stand up, they're going to fake it. They're going to make somebody else. They're going to make it look like somebody stood up just to show how dangerous it is to follow conspiracy theories and stuff like that. And so, I don't know. It's an interesting thought how many things are fake and how many things are real, and it doesn't matter because the spin is going to be the same. But I don't know.
I think that was a fantastic getting our toes wet on the topics that I would love to cover in the future, by which I'm strongly insinuating that I think this is a good thing. We should do this. We should do this more often.
Yeah.
Live streaming with MrWesford.
Yeah, let's do that.
Let's do it.
And so for
Are you
us,
guys coming on my show tomorrow?
What?
no, go ahead.
Didn't you
No,
say?
please,
Okay, sorry, no. If I could
Just go ahead. No, go ahead.
please.
No, okay. If do you need?
Shutting
See, on my
up.
channel we have this running joke. Okay, sorry. On my
Never mind,
channel
it was
we have this.
stupid.
Okay. on my channel we have this. Oh my gosh, we have this running joke of the talking unicorn. When there's people on, you have to have the talking unicorn to talk because we had this stream called "Is Atheism a Religion?" and we looked at an atheist church's website and we read their creed and their mission statement and all this stuff, and it said after their sermon, like in like a worship service, which is just like they read like Marcus Aurelius, they sit in a circle and they pass around a talking unicorn, and then they get to be the pastor and give a sermon on whatever they want. So yeah, we need a talking unicorn here sometimes, but I have it right now if you need to know. But are you guys are we doing a stream on my stream channel thing
Yeah.
sometime?
Let's
Tomorrow?
go ahead and
That'd
hop.
be great.
Let's go ahead and hop over there right now and just take this going.
Another 2 hours, yeah.
No, but in all honesty, let's go ahead and wrap it up, and we'll talk
Wait,
about.
He asked you though.
Yeah, I know.
We gotta get on Mr.
We
Wesford's
are.
channel.
We're going to. We're going to very soon. We're going to very
It's
soon. I
gonna
was
be
gonna.
awesome.
The next words out of my mouth were gonna be, Mr. Wesford, tell everybody where they can find you, and then
Okay, well, yeah, okay. No, sorry, you go on. You have to talk
and then where we're gonna be streaming next.
Okay, well, we didn't really talk about like when, but we maybe streaming tomorrow or something. That's what y'all said. But if you just look me up on YouTube, Mr. Wesford, or if you go to my Instagram, is also Mr. Wesford. Let's see, what's my
I got your Twitter handle up here.
No, sorry, my Twitter. It's at czar_martyr, or you can just look up Mr. Wesford. Maybe I don't really know how Twitter works.
I got
but
your Twitter handle up on the
says it on there.
screen. But
Oh shoot!
Mr. Wesford on YouTube, Mr. Wesford on Instagram,
Oh dang!
and
And that's like my that's like my Instagram from like freshman year. I was at a friend's birthday party, and they're like, "For my birthday, you have to download Instagram," and that's why I have it.
nice. Well, you can
Nice.
find him there.
Yeah.
And
Where I am.
as for us, couple of goobers, you can find us right here. No, but as for us, couple of goobers, we're going to keep trying to do live streams. Hopefully, we'll get all these stupid technical difficulties figured out. We'll get the mic stuff figured out, which I think that one's eventually. I think we got it down with the volume and all of that. But the other stuff is going to get better and better. We're going to keep live streaming and maybe cut some of our weeks. We'll try to have at least one video a week and hopefully more. And whether that is between a recording or a live stream, we'll just kind of mix it up. So keep coming back for more. Keep liking, keep commenting. We appreciate everybody who's stuck in. We've had around between 4 and 6 lookers the entire time, so that's pretty nice. Thanks for listening to us be stupid and talk a little bit serious. And I think we're gonna have more Justin pedophile impressions coming your way as
Yeah, I
well.
was gonna ask.
Yeah, he makes me feel unsafe. Like I need an adult right now.
But can you give me? Do you guys mind, like, while we're here, just throw some names in the ring? Because every character needs a name. Does this inspire anything?
Joey,
Are we asking the chat? Are you asking us?
Joey the
No.
rat.
All I have to do is be better than Jay Dyer's worst character, and I don't want to be.
Which one's that?
disrespectful
Which one's
to it.
that?
I can't say because I got. You know what?
It's not Randy Balls, is it? That's the
Randy
best one.
Balls.
Look, I can't
That's the
confirm or
best one.
deny. Look, we're standing on the shoulders of giants, and like him or hate him, Jay Dyer's done a lot for 3 or 4 different communities. But yes, it's Randy Balls. It's the worst character
Oh,
that I've
it's the
seen
best
in a while.
one. It's the best one. It's like the only thing I've laughed at from Jay Dyer, to be honest.
I appreciate Randy
Yeah.
Balls. I think
I
Jay's
appreciate
great.
it.
He's a big friend of the show. He's an amazing.
You
friend
like
of
the word
show.
Randy so much, and you don't like Randy Balls? I mean, I feel like that's just
Look,
like, doesn't Randy get you Randy?
Randy gets me Randy, and Colin's right. Jay loves us.
Jay, if
okay?
you ever watch this, listen.
Is he in the chat?
He's in the chat right now,
He's
I
in-
think. Jay, if you ever watch this, I appreciate everything, and I mean everything. I pray for you every day and night. Every day and night.
Everything.
God, please allow Jamie to give him one more double shot. Just one more double shot, Lord. One more double shot, Lord.
Yep.
What that means?
Coffee? Espresso?
Oh, is he
Yeah.
always asking for
I
a
don't
double
know.
Yeah,
shot?
like in every stream, he's like, "Hey, Jamie, Manuka honey,
Yeah.
my double shot, please, Jamie."
Dude, she really does pick up for him. Can you give me a glass? Can you give me a glass of water? I think we just ruined our chances of Jay ever being like, "Hey, you guys are all right." Colin did the coughing thing.
No, I've joined several of his spaces, and it's always a good time to like ask some questions and just get whatever. Sometimes he's already in a bad mood, and then it's like whenever your dad comes home from a bad day of work and spanks you or something.
Yeah,
like,
you-
just
you-
takes it
you-
out on you.
He shows up. He opens the door. He's already got his belt off, ready for
Yeah, you hop into the space and
He's already
he's
got
like,
his.
he's already rolling his eyes at whatever stupid thing you're saying.
Your dad already having his belt off walking in the door is hilarious. What's worse is him having his belt off and telling you, "Unmute, bro." That's what you don't want. What you don't want to hear.
I'm gonna hit you till you unmute. I gotta hear it. That's the only thing I'm living for right now.
I joined one time and I thought it would land. I thought the joke would land, and as soon as he threw me on the mic, I was like, Jay.
No, it's because he's used to. He's so
Jay.
used to people doing that unironically.
But I
He
was
kicked
doing
me
it.
off once because my rooster crowed next to me, and he kicked me off. I was like, "Dang, rooster boy! He's got like a wolf rooster coming to attack me. He just owned me, rooster boy."
That's funny. But yeah,
And
no, he
booted you
wasn't.
afterwards.
I heard
Yeah, he booted me.
I heard somebody laughing, so I was like, "Oh, nice, it landed." Because I'm just on the Twitter space, I'm not watching it live, and so I heard somebody laughing, and then I'd say my question, whatever, and I'm like, "Nice, that went well." And I went back and watched the stream later, and he
Was it the next
it
person
was-
that
no,
was
it
on
was-
because you were kicked off?
No, I didn't get kicked off. I did the J thing or whatever, and Father Deacon Doctor Donald Deacon Doctor Ananias.
Doctor.
Father Deacon Dr. Luger
Dr.
Luger
Deacon.
King was the one laughing, but just like from somewhere on stream. And Jay the whole time was like like just so not into the joke at all. So
Have
whatever.
you ever seen Galaxy Quest?
Yes, dude. Yes, of course. Have I seen Galaxy Quest?
By Grab Thor's Hammer. What a savings.
Yeah,
That's
I was.
Jay every stream.
Yeah, the
1,000%.
one thing I remember from it is the dude walking down the hallway like
Yeah,
with his
yeah.
feet. Anyway, yeah.
Lightning round. What did your parents? What did your dad spank you with?
I never got spanked. Actually, no.
That's
Yeah, no. I think I only got spanked like once.
You guys are both doing this.
I think I only got spanked
Same
once
time you both did this.
ever. I got yelled at a good bit, but I only got spanked once. or twice, and I went to a private school, and they had rules about wearing your belt every single day. And one day I forgot my belt, and then the second day I forgot my belt, and then the third day I forgot my belt. And they said, if you forget your belt again, we're gonna spank you with it. So I forgot my belt again, and I got spanked with the belt. So
Wow, you
For
tested
forgetting
it.
something. That's rough, man.
yeah,
Yeah.
I was pretty.
I used to do actual bad things, so I don't know. I don't know what that means, but our parents are great. They did great for us. But yeah, my dad, same dad as Colin, but I had it worse because when I was of like spanking age, our dad was a professional wrestler and he was the title holder, so the belt was a lot worse for me. It was a large belt.
Wow.
It was a large WWE belt. And
What
that's
did he
the
hit you
joke.
with, like the
Hit
big
me with
middle
the
part
large
or the
belt.
little side parts? He hit you with the big middle part.
He hit me with the big middle part, so I still have like it like branded me. I have
Did he heat it over
it
an
was like
open flame before?
yeah, and he yelled money in the bank, and then he went and climbed a ladder and got a suitcase and hit me with that.
He came in with a steel chair.
And then he stuck his hand. He stuck his hand in his pocket, and when he pulled it out, it had a green sock puppet on it.
Yeah, exactly. But then he fought it for a while because he's like, "This is gonna hurt me more than it hurts you," and he kind of tried to. But eventually, the sock puppet snake won out, and you know,
And Dink and
but
Doink
I
were
don't
always
talk
hanging
about
out at our house for those several months.
We're
Dolph
gonna do
Ziggler.
a dedicated. We're gonna do a dedicated,
Dedicated wham.
dedicated WWE stream, and we're just only gonna talk about wrestling lore
Okay.
someday.
You guys like Rey Mysterio? I got hit with I got spanked with a cricket bat that was called Big Bertha.
Wow, that's a good one.
Yeah.
That's
I don't know where
that's
the
a
hell they
proper
got a
cricket bat, mate. Yeah.
yeah, I don't know where they got a cricket bat one. That's the only one I've ever seen in my life. And I got hit with it.
Well, they got it just for you, man. You were acting up.
Yeah, that's true.
They're on eBay looking up cricket bats.
Yeah, I'm
Disciplinary cricket bat.
probably yard selling. My mom's a huge yard seller. She would for a while. There was one time our living room was full of like 7 different like big armchairs just because she was like they were on sale, such a good price. I'm like, Mom, I had to climb over chairs to get through this doorway. It was a problem. When I moved
Yeah.
out, my mom would just leave stuff on my front porch that she'd bought at a yard sale. So I had like 7 lamps, and it was a problem. I ended up selling it, so I made like maybe $100 over the
Hey,
course
that's
of a year.
nice.
But
Little silver lining.
she could have just handed me that money. You know, it's probably a big reduction from what she bought all that stuff with.
Yeah.
But it was,
like I
she had good intentions, right? She had good intentions.
Yeah,
All right.
like I said, standing on the shoulders of giants because you might be doing a little less yard sailing for your kids.
Yeah,
But I hope
maybe.
you
Yeah.
haven't cut it out. I hope you've kept the legacy alive.
Oh, I'm fully prepared to buy as many lamps as I can.
Oh, nice. All right, rad.
I gotta invest in my kids' future. You know.
Let's wrap it up.
Let's wrap.
All right, lightning round. Lightning round's over. What's next?
Next. All right, next segment. No.
Okay.
Just kidding.
Current event. What's you guys didn't even do your current.
We didn't
event.
get our
Wait a minute.
All right, he did his current event. My current event is did you guys hear that Hulk Hogan, speaking of wrestling, is running for president?
Is he really independent?
I'm not sure if it's true, but I did hear somebody say it. It would be awesome.
I read about it.
Libertarian?
Running on I think the article was like the Atlantic or something like that, and it was like known racist Hulk Hogan running for president or something like that.
I did see that.
Did you guys see that
And
Hulk
it's-
Hogan movie from like the 90s?
No.
I can't remember what it's
Oh.
called. It was like a little
Mr.
action movie. Like, what's up?
No, that's it. Yeah, I was just you sparked my memory. That was like a deep memory there. The heck? He was in
remember
like the
what it's
third the Kid Ninjas movie.
Three Ninjas? He's in Three Ninjas?
Three. Yeah, he was in Three Ninjas 4. I think there was Three Ninjas Kickback, Three Ninjas Knuckle Up, and then there was like a fourth one where they changed the kids out. And it was
Hulk Hogan.
at a theme park.
Three Ninjas. Hulk Hogan's in this one. That was like probably the subtitle.
Yeah, basically.
It's all
But
marketing.
He was in something that was similar to the title Mr. Mom with Michael Keaton, but it wasn't Mr. Mom. It was something mom related. Like Hulk Hogan's a mom now. Way ahead of its time.
Yeah. Okay, my actual first current. Sorry about that. My actual first current event is Jack Black said he endorses Joe Biden.
Yeah, it was cringe.
Yep. All right, Justin, your turn.
All right. I'll do my current event, and then I told my wife I'd be off at 10 Eastern. I just read the text. I said 10 Eastern Standard, but I actually don't know if it's Eastern Standard or Eastern Daylight this time of year, so she might have misunderstood. We might be clear.
Okay,
My
gotcha. Let's hope there's miscommunication in
yeah,
the marriage.
right. For all of our sake. So my current event. Please, Twitter, give me something, please. Current event. Kendrick Lamar. He's Kendrick
Damn,
Lamar
dude.
sadly passed away. So that one hit
Damn.
me hard. Yeah, shot. He was falling off a cliff and someone shot him. So that
Was it Kung Fu Kenny?
Mm-hmm. From Atlanta?
Yeah, obviously.
Yeah. We're gonna do another stream where we exclusively talk about rap lore. No, I don't have a current event because I've actually been trying to step away from the data. I'm always talking about, how in that Sam Hyde TED talk when he's like, so we looked at the data, and what we found surprised us. So ever since I've seen that, me and Colin and some of the other bros will always talk about like, have you been looking at the data, which translates to, have you been staying immersed in like right-wing conspiracy theories and stuff?
Are you doom scrolling?
I try not to, man. Today was a good day today was an okay day in terms of like how much time I spent like with my brain getting warped and twisted and pulled around like taffy by staring into the black mirror. But yeah, I'm trying to take a step away from it. I think the most current event that I even paid attention to. Have you guys heard about those Grimace shakes that everyone's trying?
Oh, is that like the unicorn shake from Starbucks?
No, it's McDonald's. Apparently, everyone is drinking this purple, tasty beverage, and they go all crazy and they hurt themselves and others.
Yeah, I remember that from like
Yeah.
this time last year, probably.
Are you sure? I just saw it on my phone a little bit earlier today. Man, I hope I didn't goof this one up. This is
What's
not
your last thing, and we'll go. What do you think? What's the best meme that's died? What's the best last thing? What's the best meme that died? Like that you wish was still around? Like Harambe. When was the last time you heard about Harambe, man?
Yeah. How about what's the one where people would put like a funny horse head on and then they dance in their high school cafeteria?
Oh yeah, yeah, like Harlem Shake or something.
That was the quickest. That was the like shortest half-life for non-cringeness. I think that when people first saw the horse head or that T-Rex costume that like inflates,
yeah, yep,
it's
like a
that
tan.
was not cringe for the shortest amount of time of anything on record. So like when you first saw that tiny arm thing, it's like, oh man, that looks so funny because the head goes back, or that guy's got a horse head on. That seems wacky and random. But then I want to say about 72 hours later, immediately it's like radioactive levels of cringe,
Yep.
and you're just like,
When
So I guess
when
a
I
half-life was-
I graduated high school in 2013. I started going to college that fall, and then I promptly dropped out. But during one of my orientations, they had played a video, and it was like all about how college is rad and cool, yo. And they had about 5 people in horse head things in that video. That's what I remember.
Yeah. That's
Anytime
fun.
you can just like press end on the stream. That's like what I do. If I can't figure out how to stop, I just like I literally say like I'll just hit end and it'll just happen.
We got it
People have to
covered.
deal with it.
We have one. We have a canned thing.
Are we
if you
on
wanna
there?
say it.
Are we on there?
Yeah, we
It's-
got.
Okay, on three.
That's it. That's what we were gonna
3,
do.
2,
on 3.
1. It's Curse
You know
World,
it's
baby.
Big world tonight.
Well, I just added a little picture of Hulk Hogan and he has Reverend Dr. Martha Luger King Jr. in a headlock. So that
Did
is.
you cut it? You cut the stream?
No. I just it's just that's on the stream now. So
I see it, man.
Oh, okay, I got
right there.
I mean,
this is just what I've been
what
working
about the
on.
audio?
Everything's good.
While you're
We're
while you're checking out of the conversation.
Yeah, exactly. Just checking out of the conversation mentally because it's time. And thank you everybody for listening. We appreciate you. Make sure to like the stream. If you haven't already, subscribe and get your friends to send it to your friends. What else? What else do we have to say? What else is like a good thing to say? Thanks for following.
Send it to
along.
people you don't like. That people. It's been a cursed world.
It's been a cursed world. Thanks you, Mr. Wesford, for hanging out with us this evening. We'll be on your stream soon. Everybody, pop over there for whenever it's time for that.
Yeah, it could be
Probably
tomorrow.
tomorrow.
TBD.
Could be.
Could be tomorrow.
Yeah, let's hit the GC and we'll figure out the timing. Because I kind of like I said, I could probably do it tomorrow. I didn't really talk with everyone, but tomorrow would be cool. Otherwise, Friday.
It's been a cursed world.
It's been a cursed world. Night, guys.
1, 2, 3.